I'm really pleased to have a few minutes this morning here with Pierre-Olivier Goulet, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Morocco Strategic Metals. As many of you probably know, we did site visit on the Morocco properties last year. We're very excited about what they're doing in Morocco. Especially in light of these current market prices. Morocco Strategic Metals trading around 12 cents. They got about 7 million in cash. They've got a very capable management team. So I just asked Pierre-Olivier, the Chief Executive Officer, to just give us a bit of an update on what's going on in Morocco. Morning, Pierre.
Good morning, Sherman. Thanks for having me there, and thanks for taking the time with me for that update. Yeah, as I was saying, we put out the news back in April, where we did what we feel is really a transformational acquisition in Morocco. We bought a big land package comprised of mining licenses that are fully permitted for production, alongside permits for the construction of a flotation facility. And what really this is really a large land package, but with a very, very extensive mining history. So, well, as you've seen during our site visit, there's a strong history of mining, sometimes artisanal, but there's a very strong French heritage for mining in Morocco. And, well, obviously a lack of exploration, a lack of modern exploration, let's call it, but proper, not even advanced method, but even conventional geology and drilling. So what we've acquired basically is past producing mines that were mined at a time where metals were at much different prices and with much different mining capabilities. So what we've been doing over the last week since the acquisition in April, well, there's two phases to that. We really want to confirm and do some solid exploration, like grab sampling, channel sampling, geophysics, like the regular tools. And in parallel, there's obviously we acquired a past producing mine, so there's all the aspect of rehabilitation involved. So there's a bit of cleaning up to be done, pumping of flooded levels. And we've been doing most of that in the last few weeks in anticipation, obviously, to get drills going as soon, basically, as the weather allows it, either in September or October. As you know, right now, around 40 plus degrees, 45 degrees in Morocco. So drilling not impossible, but let's just call it not efficient at this time of the year. So we've been really working in anticipation of those drilling program. And the nice thing is we're confident in what we're seeing. We've got some 100+ samples in the lab at the moment. So we're obviously looking at putting some news out to give the market an update on our exploration results. And the nice thing is we're seeing all of those kind of results underground, which we feel is a good indication of what we're going to find during those drilling programs. So really a twofold approach, really the rehabilitation aspect of it, which is obviously necessary while undertaking work in mines that were abandoned for years and years. And there's the conventional exploration, which we're doing at surface and underground. And yeah, we were planning to update the market shortly on those results.
Well, thanks for the update, Pierre. I was just actually, as we mentioned prior to recording this, I just got back from Spain a couple of weeks ago, and I'd sort of forgotten how close, you guys are as neighbors between Spain and Morocco. But it also, reminded me of the incredible mineralization that exists not only in Spain, but in Morocco. And, in Spain, it's the Iberian Pyrite Belt. And in Morocco, there's just, outcropping deposits. So I think it's a pretty exciting time where you guys have developed an amazing land package. And maybe just to close up, just to give us a bit of your family history in Morocco. I think some people might be interested in your history with Aya Gold and Silver and how that's developed over many years. And that's the management team that's leading Morocco Strategic Metals. And then finally, just maybe your view on copper price. I mean, we've hit I think, pretty much another new high in the last couple of weeks on the copper price, which is really going to drive value for companies like MCC.
Yeah, sure. So obviously we've got three of well, I would call them the founding three founding members in Aya Gold and Silver, including the CEO Guy Goulet. My father currently CEO of, well, he's chairman. He's also a CEO of Cerro de Pasco Resources, ticker CDPR. And well, obviously we share a lot of initial shareholders in Aya as well back in the day. So we have an extensive kind of history of working over there. The fact that we speak French obviously helps a lot. And yeah, we're sort of it's very a similar story of, if you recall, Aya, the restarting of the Zgounder mine, where Guy raised the first 50 million to restart the mine, is really kind of a similar story we see here, where we're really similar to what we're doing right now with those former mines, and of what at first was thought to be a very small deposit and small operation turned out to be a giant and one of, if not the largest silver mine in Africa today. And yeah, the nice thing about our package is, you mentioned the copper price, but it's not only about copper. This is what we really like about this domain, is we see a small gold operation currently being operated on our ground, which is gold in quartz. We're seeing also a very strong correlation with silver, very high grade silver in correlation with the copper. So the nice thing about this package, Sherman, is not all about the copper stories. We've got a lot of diversified, many metals in there, and along zinc, lead, a lot of things, but mostly copper, silver, and gold, I think, which is the most interesting to us. And the copper prices, I mean, look, it's been obviously, I think everyone sees the sort of the copper crunch, the demand longer term, and this is what we're building for longer term, not only short-term copper prices, but we're really in there for, as I said, we've got the permit for the flotation, and we're kind of working backwards. We're permitted for production today. It's all about building a resource and putting that into execution, into production, and yeah, we're really confident about the copper prices longer term, and we're confident in what we're building. We've got enough cash, we think, for at least 2-3 years of exploration, and yeah, I think our view is we'll really capitalize on copper prices longer term.
Well, thank you very much, Pierre-Olivier. As I'm here with Pierre-Olivier Goulet, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Morocco Strategic Metals. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you soon, Pierre.
Thanks, Sherman. Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.